You know, it's interesting, but it's also sad because there was an incident in Louisville that saw a young girl who had a life ahead of her taken so fast. And it is really shocking and very sad. Shortly after midnight on March 13th, 2020, that's this incident that I'm talking about happened March 13th. Police entered into an apartment. The apartment was that of Breonna Taylor. They forced the door open, and these police officers were said to be investigating two men they believed were selling drugs. They believed that these two men were selling drugs, and they came into the neighborhood to like check for a search warrant for drug use. So Brianna, who lives in Kentucky, helps sees life as an emergency room technician. Like she sees life in an emergency room technician. Brianna was shot 6 times by this police officer. Now the parents who that's the parent of Brianna Taylor, who claimed that there was no knock at the door of Taylor, which made her act in self defense. And after hearing a loud bang at the door. Now, this bang was that of the police officers. They came into her house. I thought, yeah, they came bang. You know, when you have a search warrant, you just come bang into someone's door. So they banged on her door. They banged at her door, but received no answer from Brianna Taylor. I feel like if someone comes to your house like 12 midnight or 10 in the night or even 1 a.m., you'll be scared. And I feel like that is the position at which she was at that particular moment. So these armed officers, because they were actually armed, they opened fire with more than 20 rounds. That is so sad. That is so sad. Somebody came to your house and someone came to your house and then just came, brought arms, like knocked at your door. And when they knocked at your door, they got no response from you. What is it to do? Okay, bang the door, even if you want to break the door and enter the house. Maybe these police officers were saying, oh, maybe the people inside the house were ready for them, or I don't understand why, after banging at the door, they just they're shooting. Can you imagine hitting objects in living rooms, dining rooms, kitchen, hallways, and bathroom? And Brianna Taylor was struck by 5 bullets and pronounced dead. She was struck by 5 bullets and pronounced dead. Like it's, I'm just imagining the scene. I'm just imagining the scene because they banged at her door. I'm sure she was scared, and then these officers started shooting. As in, like, I can just imagine that scene. And I'm sure stray bullets must have hit her so hard, like 5 bullets struck her down. And the very annoying part of it is that no drugs was found in Brianna Taylor's apartment. And according to eyewitness, 3 police officers who were outside, can imagine, after the ones who were at the door, after they finished banging the door, they started shooting anyhow. 3 other officers outside, can imagine, started shooting on their own randomly. Started shooting on their own. That was no. I think they went too far. And from the shooting, Brianna Taylor, after she was struck 5 times with a bullet, she was struck another time again, like 1 bullet struck her down. And this is so sad. Like, people have come out, a lawyer here has come out to say that it's so sad, and he has spoken. I think let's listen to what he has to say about Brianna Taylor.
Against Detective Hankinson for 3 counts of wanton endangerment for wantonly placing the 3 individuals in apartment 3 in danger of serious physical injury or death. While there are 6 possible homicide charges under Kentucky law, these charges are not applicable to the facts before us because our investigation showed and the grand jury agreed that Mattingly and Cosgrove were justified in the return of deadly fire after having been fired upon by Kenneth Walker. Let me state that again. According to Kentucky law, the use of force by Mattingly and Cosgrove was justified to protect themselves. This justification bars us from pursuing criminal charges in Miss Breonna Taylor's death. I understand that Miss Breonna Taylor's death has become a part of a national story and conversation. But we must also remember the facts and the collection of evidence in this case are than cases elsewhere in the country. Each is unique and cannot be compared. There will be celebrities, influencers, and activists who, having never lived in Kentucky, will try to tell us how to feel, suggesting they understand the facts of this case and that they know our community, Commonwealth, better than we do. But they don't. Let's not give in to their attempts to influence our thinking or capture our emotions. At the end of the day, it is up to us. We live here together. We work here and raise our families here together. I urge those protesting on the streets to remember this. Peaceful protests are your right as an American citizen. Instigating violence and destruction are not.
Good evening. I'm Robert Schroeder, Chief of Police, Louisville Metro Police Department. All the information I'm about to give you is preliminary in nature.
A grand jury, that's very sad actually. What the lawyer just said now, it's very sad. A grand jury in the city of Louisville returned only one minor charge against one of these officers. Because I think what he was just saying is that I think in Louisville, they have when someone shoots at you, it's like self-defense or something like that, but really that's really sad. So the jury said that these officers will be charged on minor cases, like, and so many cases of killings are unarmed, as in so many cases of killings of unarmed black people by police have fueled anger across the US and beyond the states. And at the moment, protesters who have heard there will be no charge against these officers who committed this act are seen raising their voice, of emotion to see that justice is being done to Brianna and all those who have lost their life. This is just coming months after George Floyd was, killed. George Floyd too was killed. Brianna was killed. You can imagine this happened March. George Floyd's own happened June, about thereof. It's so sad. It's so sad because they just kill. I don't know. Is it that black life don't matter? George Floyd was killed. Now it's another black life that has been taken. Is it that this white, or is it that they don't value this? Is it that they don't value black lives? Do you think that this is fair on the blacks in America? Because I don't understand the way they kill us, the way they kill our fellow brothers and sisters over there. And when it comes to charging these police officers, they just tell them that it's a minor case. It's a minor case, and it's really sad. So we should stop all this menace. My advice to the whites is that white policemen is that they should stop all this menace. Instead of you to just go ahead and kill a black life matter, a black citizen. They have lives too. They are created by God. Nobody is less. Everybody was created equal. So I feel like they should stop this menace and taking the lives of the black citizens carelessly. And I'm just trying to say that we blacks are human beings, because when we want to rage now, they will be like, yes, we have anger issues and so on and so forth. But they don't know that it's actually killing us inside to see our loved ones being killed. just just carelessly, they call it carelessly, they call it self-defense. It's very bad. It's so sad, because it's life, it's someone's life, it's someone's life. So these things should be taken care of. These things should be adhered to. These things, these killings should be properly taken care of. They should take actions to it, because it's really sad. It's really sad. So I think let's watch this group of protesters who have come out to talk about this case.
On winter now at towards the Highlands. Yeah, my house is just up there.
I've been living in America for over 50 years. So, and America been sending out the same signal to me since I was born. No justice for anybody that looks like me.
Protect black women! Protect black women! Protect black women!
I'm here today to make sure that you understand something, America. I'm ashamed of you again. You heard what they said, Black Lives Matter. But the thing is important. Why am I out here fighting for my human rights? But America, guess what? You didn't surprise me at all. You're the same America that you were in 1865 when you emancipated black people that you are today. We cannot let you keep murdering our kids, our family members, and keep getting away with it. A slap on the wrist. We already knew it because you start preparing, you start blocking stuff. You blocking the community, boarding up. We already knew that's guilt. We know you're guilty.
You will be arrested if you do not get out the street.
Saddened, definitely, that a police officer could be charged for shooting bullets through her apartment, but not in her apartment. Breonna means so much to so many people because I have a daughter that could be Breonna. I would like to see people in leadership, be it locally, county, city, and state leadership that actually care about the people that live in the state and in the city.
Me, if you and I walk into our house and we accidentally kill 3 people, whether the bullet went through a wall or something, we would be charged at a minimum with manslaughter. You're looking at the people and all the police out here, and if they can take this much time and this much of their resources to put down barricades and set up downtown for 3 days prior to the verdict, then they should have erred on that side and used that much of abundance of caution on a no-knock warrant, made sure that body cameras were installed, and the public has completely lost trust of the people that are supposed to protect and serve us. And not to mention, most of these people don't actually live in our neighborhood, so it's not as if these are my neighbors or I understand like, hey, Officer Cindy, or no. So I don't know what else people are supposed to do. My grandparents always said, if you keep on turning cheek after cheek, you're in an abusive relationship. So you tell me, what are people supposed to do when the people that are supposed to be publicly protecting and serving them aren't? What's our no justice, no peace? So Breonna Taylor could be any of us. And the frustrating part that I think most of us, white, black, Hispanic, realize is that we can't live in a police state in the United States in 2020, and we have to make police departments and police unions liable when they mess up. And this time was a gross miscarriage of justice.
I live on the street. I've lived here for almost 40 years. I lived through the Vietnam War, all the killings and things that have happened over all these years. I never would have thought this kind of thing would be in my neighborhood. I can sympathize and empathize with people who have lost so many, and I think it's just had enough. I'm afraid for our country. I'm afraid for what's going to happen after this election.
Well, that is really sad because you've heard it from so many people. I can't, like the other man that was talking before, the white man, he said, you don't even know these people. They don't live in your neighborhood. They just come all in the name of search warrants. Even if they are police officers, they should be trained. Don't just bang into someone's door, break it down, and then just shoot anyhow. These officers I'm sure they were taught how to shoot during their training. I'm sure most of them know all these minor. It's so sad, like I can't even talk because it could be one of us, like that's a black man said it could be any of us. The other lady was saying her daughter could be Brianna, because it's so sad that they don't really take black lives seriously. Is it that they want to push the blacks out of America? It's not possible because America is for all. America is a peaceful nation, is for all. I think this should really stop because if it is a white man that it's being killed now, I know how actions will be taken. But now I think they'll just highest they'll just protest, and then before you know it dies down, and it's sad because it's someone's life. Just imagine it's someone's, maybe one of their relations or maybe one of those police officers. Is really sad, and I plead with the United States government, they should take action on these killings that is really becoming something else in the United States of America. Well, that's it. It's really ending on a sad note, but it's not ending on a sad note for Voice TV viewers, because if you're not yet a subscriber, you should go to Voice TV Nigeria, go to YouTube, click on the search button, Voice TV Nigeria on YouTube, click the subscribe button, like, watch, share our videos, and also click on the notification button so that you get notified when interesting and trending news like this comes up. Well, I'm still Magdalene Palmer. See you next time. Bye.